1972.
You are the second July 7th that I've had in 2 days.
Whoa, that's weird. Maybe the birthdays are coming. We want to know some, a little more clarity.
July 7th is also one of the dates that we think the baby's coming.
Oh my God.
So I've had a lot of things happen to me on July 7th in my life. I had my enlightenment experience on July 7th. I adopted my dog on July 7th, and I've gotten engaged on July 7th.
Wow. Powerful date for you.
It's a big day. So we'll see. That's funny. Okay, so July 7th, what year?
1972.
Okay. Weird. I think she did too.
Huh.
The exact day. Very weird.
Wow.
Interesting.
I wonder if we get the same cards.
Me and my husband just talked about that, of like having people born on the same day as us, kind of that. I don't know if you watch Sense8, but it has that kind of feel to it.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I wonder if you guys are like your little cluster.
Yeah, I actually worked with a woman that was born July 7th, but a different year. She was a little older. And it's uncanny how alike our personalities are and how we navigate the world. Yeah, it's interesting.
There's a lot of similarities. It's very interesting when I see that. Okay, yeah. All right, interesting. All right. Yeah, I got a lot of similar cards that I got throughout today and throughout the week for you.
Yeah, they really feel like they're my readings, but I think I just, it'll be nice to have more, be able to ask questions.
I got the Tower in both. So what I do, I do two separate spreads, and I do one for your higher self. So what you're learning, your spirit's learning, themes in your life, all of that good stuff is in one. And then how it's physically being manifested. So it's like your higher self and your lower self. Mm-hmm. And when I have cards that match, I know that those are the themes that are interlocking, that you can't get away from. Like, it's happening on both levels. And we have the Tower in both ones.
Wow.
So there's a lot shaken up in your life right now.
Yeah.
And they don't want you to freak about it. It's not a bad thing. It's actually, it's changing you, and you're going to have a rebirth. But they do want you to know that they know that everything's shaking up, and that you should know that don't fight it. When that Tower card's happening, it's because things need to be rearranged. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting it a lot when it comes to the participation card. So it looks a lot like around tribe as well. It could be around relationship as well. But that feels like, are you going through a shakeup with a relationship?
Yeah, there's definitely, it's a 1.5 year relationship straight out of my divorce, 4 months later, and it snuck in, and it has a lot of the patterning that my old relationships had, but in a different way, in a fiery way, in a fun way, in a different vibration. But I'm just starting to understand it's sort of something from the past is still here, and it's not serving, but it's hard to let it go.
Are you having a shakeup in your tribe too?
I have a pretty, there's movement, not like something bad happened. It's just they're going through change. A dear friend is moving kind of suddenly. Other friends, my mom and one of my best friends just going through divorce as well. So it's like a lot of changes, but it's not like the rug is pulled from under me, I'm good, but there's definitely changes.
The dynamics are going to change, is what they're telling me. So I was calling it, I call it like the tribe Chinese fire drill. People are going to be taking on different roles.
I gotcha.
If you think of it like a Chinese fire drill, like one's the driver, one's the passenger, two people are in the back seat hanging out, chatting, just enjoying the ride. Well, everybody's switching.
Okay.
So it's like people who were hanging out are going to be the drivers and the navigator and things like that. So you're going to take on different roles in these different relationships. They're showing me that you're going to actually change roles with your mom a little bit.
Yay.
Yeah. So there's going to be a role shift between you and your mom, because they literally, and that's not something I'm getting in the cards, it's something they're literally showing me, is like they're doing this. So they're like,
Yay. I don't have to be her mother anymore. Thank you.
yeah. So there's going to be some things that I think you're going to be putting up a lot of boundaries. I'm getting a lot of boundary energy for you. Especially in the physical realm. There's like boundary. And you're going to have to put into place some new rules for what is appropriate for you and what is not appropriate for you. And they're non-negotiable. I know that sounds like funny. It's like, we always want to compromise or whatever, but there's going to be some non-negotiables that you have to really decide you need.
Okay.
And there's going to be like 2 big like boundaries that you'll have to put up. 3. It's going to be like 3.
I have not been very successful with that, but I think I get it.
Well, you're getting to the point where enough's enough.
Yeah.
So I always find that when you get to the enough's enough, that's when the boundary can actually be placed, because it's been placed with energy and it's being placed with emotion, and it's getting placed with like, it's almost like putting a boundary more on ourselves than it is on the other person. Like, what am I doing? Stop doing that. Like, that's not okay with me anymore. And then when you put that boundary within yourself, then everybody kind of follows suit.
Right.
So that's what I'm getting.
Okay.
But that's something that you're going to have to, they're giving me a story that I've had in my life when me and my now husband, we broke up for a time. And I got to a place where I was like, that's it. Like, I'm not going to be with somebody who's not willing to work on themselves anymore. That is not negotiable for me. I am not going to carry them up this hill. I'm not going to do all the work anymore. Like this, I'm done. And when I got to that point and I set that boundary, I set it with myself. Like, I'm not going to enter a relationship if they're not willing to take responsibility for themselves and do the work. Then I needed somebody who had a spiritual practice. I didn't care what it was. And then it was, then I was like, you know what? I don't need anybody in my life right now. Funny thing is, 2 weeks later, he showed back up going, I'm ready to do the work now. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, show me. Put your money where your mouth is. And as soon as I put that boundary down, he showed up and he did start doing the work. And that's how we got back together. So they wanted me to tell you that story. It's like, that's the energy of it. It's more for you than for the other person.
I think the same with my boyfriend. That's the same exact thing. It's, yeah, just the same repetition and just having to absorb it and help him clear it and help him process. And it's like, you can do this now. I've showed you how. I've showed you how over and over again. And my mom too.
Yeah, I'm getting it done. A done energy. Like, you got to go, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
And they're coming in very strong. I'm even getting this heat from it. It's like you have to come in with the done. Like when Lucy's done, it's done.
Okay.
They're waiting on you to say no, because they're going to continue doing it until you're like, no, you're doing it. I'll sit here and hold space for you. You know what? Not even that. You go home, you figure it out.
Right.
I'm done. Because what's happening, especially because you're a Cancer, I find that water signs have a little harder of a time with boundaries just because you're water.
Mm-hmm.
Water is not used to boundaries. They actually break boundaries.
Valuable. Mm-hmm.
Right? So I always find that it's a little harder for the water signs, because they like what does water do? They absorb other water and it becomes them. And so what they're saying with you, though, is like water can get messy if it doesn't have a boundary. That's why we use water glasses and to drink, and that's why you can't, like, we're not gonna do, there's the rivers are wonderful because they have boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And when
They're
there's too much
contained.
water, exactly. So they're going, honor your own boundaries and realize that you have more of a flow when you have boundaries.
Right. Right.
So yes, so that's what's gonna, because I have this card. This card is so this is the boundaries card, and that's why I say that there's 3 major boundaries that you're gonna have to decide on. And there is a little bit of a pick your battles kind of energy to this. Like, you don't have to fight all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that 5 of Swords, but they're like, pick your 3 main battles. Pick your 3 main battles and stay strong in that battle, because it's extremely important. This is the test that you're up against right now. And the boundary setting is going, so what I've been talking about with this Pluto Libra going, or Jupiter Libra going direct,
Mm-hmm.
is this is your new foundation on how you're going to show up to a relationship. And they just keep telling, in this ear, boundaries, boundary, 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 boundary.
Okay.
So that is the foundation. They want you to set the rest of how you're going to go about in relationship moving forward. But they're being really tough on you. So I'm trying to be gentle with it, but they're being very, like, you have a tough guy.
It's enough already. I know. I've just let so much go with just the negativity and the constant complaining that it's instead going, I'm not going to listen to this anymore. I've told you what I think about that, and you need to figure it out. I'm sorry, but I'm no longer interested in this conversation, basically, with anybody, and not think because you're my mother or because you have this role or that role, you get to just basically dump all your shit on me. And then I spent my mental space processing for you because I'm like going to cleanse it for you. And it's not my job.
And it's distracting you for what you really need to do.
Right. Right. Okay.
There's some things that it's doing it and it's distracting you. Like, it's diverting your attention to things that you can really build and rebirth in yourself. And a lot of it is your own spiritual gifts, your own empowerment spiritually. Mm-hmm. Like, it's blocking is spiritual empowerment, because what it's blocking is the high priestess. So there's a certain empowerment that's trying to come through, but this old paradigm is keeping you from really self-realizing that. And you have, so they're real. It's funny, they don't usually come in like this, so I'm kind of excited to have, like, I'm like, oh, I'm being tough on you, but the only reason why I'm being tough on you is because you have a tough male guide. First of all, there's one standing right here with me, and he's really strong, and he's like, I'm here to help you set these boundaries. And he's really, like, he's no BS. I mean, that's the only thing. He's like, you know what? I love you so much that I'm not going to let you get away with it anymore. And that I'm here not only to give you the tough love, but to support you. And that when you decide, like, I'm not letting any of this bullshit in again, is kind of what he's saying. So that's the first thing, is that you have him, and he's really, really strong. He's really loud too. He's not being very cryptic about this message at all. And then the reason why is because there's a certain level of potential that you have that they don't want you to miss out on, is what they're telling me. They're like, she isn't taking ownership of how powerful she is yet. And she's like her boyfriend, like the male relationship, and her mom are kind of sweeping her off her own power. Every time she gets traction, it's like they come in and they, like, pick you up, and you're like spinning your wheels again.
That's a good analogy.
And they're like, no more. Like, we got to get her traction. We can't we can't have her keep spinning her wheels and getting picked up out of her power.
That's kind of what I felt this week was about me, and I was gonna stick with it, and stuff is already coming in where I'm like, and it's like, no, don't do it. don't do it. Just stay with this. Stay here. Stay with you.
Your motto. Your motto. My name's Paul. That's between y'all. Like, no more. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. I love you enough to know that you're going to be able to handle this on your own, and I'm stepping back, and my name's Paul. It's between y'all. I'm not doing that. It's not mine to fix.
Okay.
It's your hands are.
I feel relieved.
Yeah, they were like, wash your hands clean of their shit. It's just detouring. It's detouring you.
Yeah, no, it's draining my energy where I don't exactly when I get a little bit of force forward, and then it's like 3-4 days with my mom, 3-4 days with Tino in the last couple weeks, and it was exactly that. I'm like, I need to get on my stuff, otherwise it's never gonna happen. I'm gonna just, fold into one of them.
I like that you said that. I'm gonna fold into one of them, and think of it like water.
Mm-hmm.
You get blurred, like the colors start mixing. It's like you're a color, and they're a colored water, and you keep mixing, and then you stop realizing what's yours and what's not, and then it's diluted, and you're having a really hard time figuring out what's yours and what's not. And they're like, put yourself in a glass container, like allow you to be you,
pure. Yes,
purely you. Don't worry about theirs. You can look at them through your glass container and keep them in their glass container, but no more diluting this. Because then their lesson gets diluted too, and they don't know how to show up for themselves either.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's the boundary. They're giving you boundaries so differently than I usually get, but
yeah,
they're giving me it in water like that because they're like, just put her in a jar. Okay. All right. There's still more here. They're giving me two different things at the same time. So hold on, let me pull these two apart and see which one they want me to talk about first. Do you want to know about your direction, or do you want to know more about your healing?
Both, but direction sounds good.
Okay, we'll start with direction because they're going to give you both. I just wanted to see which one you wanted first.
I feel like I already got a lot of healing.
There's still a little more. There's still more, but I think your direction and because you're going to start going into some more purpose stuff. And I know that you do jewelry right now, right? I think that's going to continue, but you're going to go through, after you do this boundary thing, you're going to get some, let me look and see what this looks like. Yeah, this is a good thing, but it's destined. It's a destined thing because I got the Wheel of Fortune card.
Cool.
You're going to start awakening up to your High Priestess. So your spiritual gifts are going to come online. And what that looks like for you is going to be very authentically for you. But they're saying it's destined. I get, like I said, like an awakening kind of feel or a remembering of sorts. So me and my husband talked about this at lunch today, where it's when you start awakening to your gifts, it's not like you're discovering. It's more like, oh yeah, that's that. Like it's oh yeah, that makes sense. So you're going to start having that come up. Are you already connected to any of your spiritual gifts?
I've gone through different phases. I mean, I've Reiki. I have
Okay.
probably clear. I sense things. I kind of know what people are thinking and feeling. I have that thing. Can be uncomfortable, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't own any of it really, you know? That's probably
You're
what
gonna
it
have to. I
Yeah,
the
it's
cards I
coming.
have for it are like there's you don't really have much of a choice. And it's not a bad thing. It's not something you wouldn't choose. It's something that's massively contracted, and this is the taking ownership
Mm.
of your gifts. And some of them, so yes, it's going to be spiritual, but what people don't realize that creative gifts are also under the umbrella of spiritual gifts.
Mm.
So they can come up a lot of different ways. Even through business, like a lot of people are like, well, one of my really big gifts are business. And then they open up to their hearts and then they realize they create like spiritual businesses or
Yeah.
companies that really help people, and
Hmm.
all your
I
gifts are,
want that.
yeah.
That's something I've always wanted to do. Yeah.
And so that's what it feels like. It feels like your gifts are going to like be available to you. And the reason why they want you to set these boundaries is because you have to create a container for yourself to receive the gifts that are trying to come through.
Okay.
And it's going to come in, and it might be, I have the Tower card, it might be a little intense at first. But they're saying it's nothing you can't handle. They keep saying, like, yeah, to a normal person, it would feel like really ground shattering, but for her, it's nothing she can't handle.
I get that. I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah.
I don't have any fear left about that stuff anymore. I'm like, just gratitude. It's like, you know, if it takes me to a happy place, I'll take it. I'm not gonna like push away a gift because if I'm actually gonna be able to help others with it, that's really all I want. I don't want to just be making money to make money. That doesn't do anything. Doesn't serve, you know? I
It's
want more.
it's going to be an awakening. Yeah, and I think because you know that it's going to be for your service, for your purpose, for your dharma, that you're going to go, okay, this is what's showing up for me, and I'm going to take ownership of it, and I'm going to continue to ride the wave.
Okay. All right.
A lot of water analogies, but I'm going to ride this wave. Okay, so so a huge wave came in. I'm going to grab my surfboard and I'm going to figure out how to ride this mamma jamma instead of drowning it. Is what they're giving me. That's why they said it's not anything she can't handle. Yes, we're going to give her a wave of stuff, but she already has a surfboard. She's good.
Yeah.
But we have to let the wave come in is more. So what they're saying is that it's extremely important for you here on out to really, like you said, I didn't really take ownership of the gifts. Now is the time to like take ownership and really build the toolbox. The Reiki's fine, like the Reiki's really good, but they're saying that's only scratching the surface for you. There's so
crystals. I mean, I work with stones. That's really my.
That's going to be a big part of what you're doing. So it's putting a lot of intention in the stones, which you're already doing, is what they told me, is putting the intentions in the jewelry and in the stones.
And also energy healing sprays, essential oils. I have like about 150 right above my head right now. And the sprays are really, people are really responding. They get the effect of what it's supposed to be for them.
You might do a little bit more of the apothecary stuff too.
Okay.
So even more of that might even turn into a whole other branch. So you might end up doing healing salves and healing things and tinctures and all kinds of different things as well.
Hmm.
But that they're saying just let that unfold.
Yeah. I don't have to go to school for it. It's all very intuitive and it's
It's
working.
you
Yeah.
already know how to do it. That's what I'm saying. It's not about you learning it or discovering something. It's you, oh, I know how to do that. This needs a little bit more of this. This needs
Mhm.
more of this. So you
Mhm.
already know. It's like all my family are
Mhm.
Sicilian cooks. All my
Oh,
family line. And so they're like, people are like, why are you such a good cook? I'm like, I don't know. I never thought about it. Like, it's just in my blood.
Yeah.
I
I'm
know.
a chef too.
Yeah. And so this is what they're saying with it is with the tinctures and the apothecary stuff is like, it's not something you have to go to school with. You already know what you're doing.
Hmm.
It's like, been there, done that. Now you just got to connect to it again, which you already have, but they're saying there's even more. They're like, if you have this big of a case, your case is about to get really big. Like,
I need a bigger house.
Yeah.
A bigger container.
There's a bigger container for it, is what they're showing me. So, and I see it like I saw a post from you, and it's funny because I don't usually see like the people I read stuff, but your couple of your things came up on my feed, and I saw it. So I know you're doing booths and things like that at different places.
Yeah, pop-ups.
I see it being more not just pop-ups. I see the online store getting bigger.
Yes, it's been in like right here for a while. Like I have to get an online store that represents me.
You're gonna need help with it.
Yeah.
So they're saying don't do that on your own. Get somebody to really help you design the store because it's going to look like its own shop. It's really going to be that way. They say you may want to do a brick and mortar eventually, but they really want you to get that online store up. This is also why they like that whole thing that you're doing with your boyfriend and your mom.
Yeah.
This is what they keep, like you keep getting lifted out of.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means
I don't leave any space for it. I know it. There's no space for it. I'm too tired and I have to focus on keeping everything else going. So when I get back, I have to get back into my life and I have to prepare for another show. And so I don't give my time to developing the new ideas. They just kind of sit there and wait. Yeah.
Yep. And that you can't do that anymore. They're like, no, she needs this. Like she needs to grow her garden now. It's very important for you to grow this garden because it's going to lead into other things. They're not showing me everything, but they're giving me a bit of like, it's going to connect you to a certain tribe as well. So it's like, it's a branch of a couple different things.
Yay.
Hold on, let me get a little bit more information. They're still giving me more. Priorities, that's what they want. They want you to list your priorities. What have you prioritized, like their energy, and this goes on top. And they're saying non-negotiable. There's the boundary. Non-negotiable boundary is me, at least what they want you to do. So me and my husband, give me a lot of stuff with me and my husband, but we did an adulting list and we literally put it on a chalkboard and we put it in the middle of the living room. Now it wasn't one of those things where we were like, okay, we're going to do this tomorrow. But we've had it up for 3 weeks and we pretty much have 85% of that list done. And the only thing we did is we wrote it down and we put it somewhere that is in our like a line of vision almost all the time. And we didn't even mean to. We've been putting it off for months. And within 3 weeks, we've almost got the whole damn thing done.
All right.
So what they're saying is like, put it somewhere where it's in your physical consciousness. So you start, so what they're saying is you don't have to get hyper focused on it, because then it leaves room where you can receive the ideas, but you put that in it's almost like putting it in your space.
Attracting it, all the energy coming, people coming, the right designer, the right photographer, the whole thing. Okay.
Because you physicalized it, and then you put it somewhere in your conscious, because we're not realizing how much we're pulling in the things that are around us. But what they're saying is it's way more powerful than you even know. It's like putting a seed in the ground and watering it, and then waiting for it to grow on its own, because naturally it's going to get sunlight. Naturally it's going to get certain things.
I just saw it like a tree, and the tree is the tribe, and the branches are all the branch. So it's like I have to look at all the little branches of all the little components that I need to complete and just write it out so it's in front of my eyes, so that way I can start dreaming it up and saying, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. Yeah.
You might even want to do it as a trunk. So you might want to even make it creative where it's a big, they're showing me to show you this too. We're getting practical, my dear, but let's do it. So they want you to get even like something like this.
Yeah.
Like a big roll.
I saw that. I saw that in my head too. Big paper, not just a little one. Yeah.
Yeah, like this massive, like I have this roll.
Yeah.
And so I put all my plans. I mean, a friend of mine came over and I was like, I pulled out these sheets and he's like, really? I'm like, look, this is how I get it all done.
This is my boarding. This is how I board.
Yes. So they're showing me something like this, and that you put it, so you actually draw the tree. So they want you to start with the seed. So what's the seed of the idea? What's the trunk of the idea? What's the branches? And so what they're doing is, so that the tree is growth, it's physical. So it's in that physical manifesting energy.
Yeah.
Right? So the reason why they want you to do that, because they want it to ground. And so that's why they want the seeds and the roots and the tree and the branches and the fruit and the blah, blah, blah. So it all becomes that. And then you can just, in the tree, it's like, okay, what do I need in this tree? I need people. I need da-da-da. And so you do that. So now you're not just going out looking for it, but now the universe knows what you want. So it's like putting out that order form that brings it in, but you'll be paying attention because you're meeting people right now. But because it's not in your consciousness, they're walking right by you. And so once you have it down, then you're like, boop, there's that person. You know what I mean? And they kind of hit you over the head, like, oh, you're gonna be part of my toolbox, and you're part of my toolbox. Oh, in that company or that advertisement or that, and so then everything starts to align, is what they're showing me.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Good.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Yeah. It's a nice physical way to physicalize the plans and fill in the gaps. I can always add to it. Yeah, it's good.
And you can always trim.
You can always trim. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can always edit. Oh, I didn't actually need that. I'll cut that branch. That doesn't need to be done. Oh, but this one does. It needs more nourishment here, you know. So then you can start refining. But what they're saying is, don't worry about refining now. Start with the big tree.
Okay. Get the structure and then fill in the gaps. Okay.
You already know, like you said, and I love how you said it. I like the way your intuition works, because you're like, it's right here. They're like, yeah, it's right here. The vision is all right here. It's ready. They're not going, you have to wait for it. They're just saying you're getting distracted.
Yeah. No, it's very clear.
It's all here. And once you start playing with it on paper, it's going to go, oh, there's that piece too. Oh, yes, blah, 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 blah. And you're just going to start just putting it and putting it and putting it. And then they said some things are going to edit itself out.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Hold on, is anything else? Yeah, you're gonna weed with this process too. It's weeding out different options too, because you have a couple little different ideas. So on another sheet of paper, when you have one like that tree is gonna be the main. So when you have the other little separate ones that might be the branches, you can make them branches like that.
Right.
But they're also saying weed out a couple of ideas too.
Right. It was like brick and mortar, either, well, Beverly Hills or Las Vegas, which is that way, or even Palm Springs, just thinking of places that would be, more doable financially, which is Las Vegas or Palm Springs. But that's like way ahead. That's like years ahead. Those were like,
That's why they want that on a separate piece of paper.
yeah, okay. Those are different. Yeah.
They
Because they
want it
need
out,
money. They're going to need financing. Yeah.
and that's fine. But they're saying what they're saying with that is like put it down on paper and then put that one away. Like
Okay.
make
Yeah, don't
that
worry about it.
grounded so it's not like mulling
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Pulling the
So
wrong,
yeah, so
pulling it too
you're
early.
like, yeah, it's like clearing it out of your psyche so you don't have to think about it, so you can focus on more of the present, but
Mhm.
put it down anyway. So
Okay.
when it's ready, then you can go back to that sheet of paper and go, oh yeah, that's the ideas I had, and let's see what fleshes out. But they want you to like get it out, so there's a little bit more like, because you've got a lot of them. There's a lot of like different ways it can be set out. But what they're saying is the first one,
Okay.
this kind of reminds me of the online store.
Yeah, the online store. Yeah, that's the one. That will give me freedom to do everything and move around and travel and do other things. It gives you more opportunities to connect and get supplies and all. It creates a different flow. I just feel it. It's all about online. There's no more anything else. Everyone wants to buy online. It's the end of stores, really, unless you're like really doing amazingly well. People are just dying to have a physical contact. You don't need a store. You know what I mean?
No,
Not yet.
You got to just put yourself out there like you're doing now, like trade
Yeah.
shows and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because they want the physical product at first, but then it's going to be word of mouth, and there's going to be certain things. Plus, online stores, they keep saying, they're getting really practical with you. But what they're saying is less overhead, less overhead, less overhead,
Mhm.
and that is financially more efficient. for you.
Yes.
And it's also emotionally more efficient
And
and
energetically.
more efficient.
So much work. So much work.
So they're like, just spend a few months designing the store that you love online. The branding. They keep saying branding.
Mhm.
Make sure your branding is sound. Make sure like they want these like little creative details put in the can,
Mhm.
right?
Got
It's kind of like when they're like, they keep showing me like a film. We got that in the can. We got that in the can. They're like they want that to be fleshed out appropriately, where your vision, the brand is set. Like keep saying the brand needs to be sound.
Okay. So I got to work on that a little more. Got it.
They want you to work with, like they're saying you're almost there, but they want you to refine the brand.
Yeah, I need less is more. I get that too. I have a lot. So it's almost like I'm starting with a whole palette of things, and I just need to pull out what I want to focus on online and really make that rocking amazing. So everybody wants that, and just keep adding make it really special, because I have a huge stock and it's all special. But when there's so much, people don't see, or they go, everything is so wonderful. I want everything, but I can't decide unless they're like,
Scattered.
Yeah.
It's scattered, then it becomes foggy.
Right.
I think
Good. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. Yeah. I haven't been able to own that, but I'm ready for that, because I'm like, yes, it's wonderful to make lots of beautiful things, but you need to be able to sell them, and sell them like this quick so I can keep going.
What's going to happen? You're going to have branches. So you'll have like the jewelry branch, and then they're going to be separated.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be connected, but they're going to be a little bit more like, if you want this, click this. Like I almost see on the website, like this is for this, this
Mm-hmm.
is for that branch, this
Mm-hmm.
is for that branch.
Right.
So you're going to have like, they keep giving me like 3 different rooms of the same store.
3 different ways of what? Running.
Different rooms of the same store.
Gotcha.
So you're going to be able to do some things, but they want you to focus on your main direction, like your main product or whatever you want to focus on, that one thing that you really love. The stones are going to, like the jewelry is going to be there, and then the apothecary, but then you have something else. Okay. So there's going to be 3 main, jewelry and apothecary. They're not showing me what that third one is yet.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. I wonder what that is.
They're not showing, they're giving me a little bit of flashes of things. Hold on, let's see if they will. How do you, okay. I don't know what, it might connect it with somebody. Maybe it's clothing.
Well, linka means connection in Czech, and it's the whole idea was that I would link other either products or like feature things that I can't make that are like amazing that I, energetically.
The third branch is the other people's.
Right. That I love that. I love, being able to interact and bring in, whether it's a healer or somebody that makes a special one oil or, just like featuring one product a month or a week of someone else's, just to, even jewelry. It's like, I just think it's cool to interact and share, and also, have bonds with other creatives, especially women. I mean, it's really, women is what it was always about that, but men are okay too. I'll let them in as well. They're good. Men are great.
You're going to get more of the women. It's funny. Yeah. I have a very similar vision of that too. I want to do it with healers. Like you're wanting to do it with, and you have the healer thing too. And I've been wanting to do that with like linking up somebody like your store of like this too. And I got that before I met you. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm going to link with her jewelry for whatever reason. And I already had that hit. And so what I'm creating when I get back is a hub for practitioners that are in integrity and quality. Because I see a lot of people putting their stuff out on Facebook, and everybody's doing everything now. And I really want to streamline really good information with like maybe 4 different practitioners who really know their stuff. And because I'm a Virgo, I'm quality control. It's like, oh, there's a lot of garbage out there too. Like, no, you can't do that with your victim. Stop it. So, so I totally understand, but I see that's kind of where you're going. And maybe the third branch is the link. Okay. So they're like, those are the main hubs. And it's really good to put that. It's almost like you're wanting to do that with the jewelry and with all the different things. Like the quality, because you have a certain sense of integrity with the quality as well.
And that's the customer I want to attract, who's also energetically pulled towards that sort of quality and getting the real essence of the stones, who prefers to not have something that's synthetic, who can feel the difference. And I think most people are waking up to it anyway. Once they recognize it, they go, oh, I just threw out all my old jewelry. I mean, I've had that before. I gave it away. I just like, now all I wear is your stuff. And it's like, thank you. That's amazing. But it would be great to have that reflected in my website. That's going to be interesting project to really get that, because it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to contain in one image, in images on screen that scroll or whatever. And I've seen some good websites, so I definitely, it seems like a big job, but I'll break it down into those compartments and just start dreaming it up.
They're saying it's like stick with the really clean, simple.
Right. I already have that. I already have that look and it's already clean. Yeah. White,
Yeah.
black and white.
The clean aesthetic is exactly where you should be going. So
Yeah.
like clean aesthetic means like it's pure.
Yeah.
That it has this pure, like the stone's already pure. Like there's not much I need to do to it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's a purity to your work is what they're saying is, that's what I said, like refining the brand. They want you to use the word, like as you're like looking through all this stuff and creating it all, pure, purity, purity, pure.
Pure, purity. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
Because
that.
they want, you don't need to put in anything added. Like your product speaks for itself. And if you put too much pomp and circumstance around it, it's going to take away from your own purity.
I like it. It's already written on a piece of paper right here.
Good. So okay. That was a lot. I love when they give me the practical information. I'm like, yeah, I like practical information because then I can actually help you create.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a good focus to get away from the emotional side of like, I'm breaking up with Tina, or just saying it's not really that. It's just saying, hey, we're not really good for each other. We have fun, but we're not happy. And it's just too much right now. We need to focus on what we need to do. He just was very clear about it yesterday, just saying like, I don't have the time to do what I need to do because my spare time, he wants to be with me. And it's like, okay, so we're doing both the same thing and we're diluting our time and energy, and it's not a healthy thing. And there are other things too, but I think I got this. I think it's clear now what I have to do.
And what they're saying is for now, like this is what you need to focus on for now. This is the priority until he can show up better. He's taking too much of your energy. If he shows up differently, that's different. If he's really taking responsibility and working on himself, then it's not going to always be this codependent dynamic. It's going to be a little bit more, I do my thing, you do your thing, we can get together when we need to get together. And that doesn't mean it's going to be him, but that just means that's the next relationship paradigm that you're going to be in. But Tino, there is some growth that he needs to go through. So not to say I wouldn't rule him out, but I just say just leave him be. Just like let him go. And if he comes back around, fantastic. If he doesn't, cool. But right now, your priority is what has been like packed here.
Got it.
Because you have more control over this than how he's going to handle his healing process.
Got it. Got it.
Because that's what he needs to focus on, and not with you, because he'll never be empowered if he has you energetically supporting him.
Yeah, and his mommy, he's still grieving over her, and there's no space really for anybody for him to really. It's like he just wants his mommy. That's really the part of me that he wants. I mean, yeah.
And that's not your. No. You don't want a husband. You don't want a partner who's your son. You want a partner who's your man.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Don't do like when you said that. That male guy was like, "Don't do that again." Like, that was a killing for me. That was him.
I don't know what it is. It's like a karmic cycle, and I just feel like I haven't had the greatest radar picking my men. Like there's just looking at my path and who I've been with. It's like, okay, I'm twice divorced, right, at this point, and it's like I wanted family. I wanted something with this last guy, and it didn't happen, and thank God, because it would have been me being solo with a child, and it wouldn't have been. It's all happened. Everything happened as it should be, but it's like I'm processing my grandmother and my mom's life faster, like eating it up, and it's just like, okay, I don't know what's in store for me in terms of relationships, but I know that it's about me being empowered, and that means me having this business running and like having a purpose in life. And then if I meet somebody, it will be all different.
It's all about you right now.
It's all about me.
It's all
Flowery.
about you blossoming.
Is that Kuan Yin?
This is the flowering card.
Oh,
So she
I
kind
see.
of gives me that same essence, but it's this woman who's basically like in her power. That lotus is blossoming. She's unfolding. It's about her, and around that is you coming out of that shadow aspect. That's the past, the shadow aspect, and taking ownership. We've been using that word a lot. Taking ownership of your own power. And then the future card is look where it is.
Oh, the pieces of the puzzle. I love that.
Right here. There's the last piece.
Yay!
Right? So there's the completion. And the ordinariness card. Like, just do it. Like, just do the work.
Do
Like,
the day to day.
yeah,
Okay.
do the practical work, and then the relationship stuff will heal itself. It's like you put some ingredients in the pot, and the last ingredients are those boundaries. And once those are done, then you got to step away. Don't look at that darn crock pot. Right? It's got to the new ingredients have to coagulate. Go focus on this.
Okay.
Do what you got to do. And then once that's done, then you'll come back into it, and I'm attracting different people now. They're also giving me one last, well, we still have a few minutes, but they're also giving me a new word now. So after what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be working on after with your relationships is a new vulnerability for you.
Yeah. Okay.
The word is vulnerability. So
Right.
you're going to have to be the one that takes the vulnerability route, like more than taking the mom route. Like,
allowing and asking and having needs and being, not being
taken care of a little bit more.
A what?
Being taken care of a little bit more.
Yes, I would like that. Yes.
But you gotta be ready for it. You gotta soften into that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women who are strong, when I say you gotta soften, they're like, ugh, and I'm like,
no, I want that. No, I've carried too much for too long. I'm like, no. Soften up.
Yeah, and it's okay, because then you can finally be the lover, not the mother.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so then it becomes a different essence and a different like flow, and you'll be gravitating to different men, and you'll be gravitating to like another word they're giving me is nurture.
I like that.
More nurturing relationships.
Yay.
But they're like, you got to give it a little time, and you got to focus on this.
Yeah.
And let that.
Don't rush into anything else. Yeah.
It's almost like you got to let it heal. It's like the boundary is like putting the Band-Aid after you put the medicine. It's like you put the medicine on it, like you're putting the medicine on it now because you're aware of the infection that you had with the wound. And and like your mom and your grandmother's thing, and now that you're aware of that, it's like you're putting the medicine on it, then the boundary, and then it's like, get away from me so you don't get me infected again. And then it's like it's passively healing itself.
Yeah.
And sometimes like putting a cast on a broken bone, you just need a little bit of time for it to heal itself. Like you can't like make a bone heal itself. Like it's like you just need to give it time. And that is what they're giving me. The Band-Aid and the cast. That's what they're giving me.
Okay. I like that. That's my healing. Is that the healing card?
Yeah. It's going to passively heal itself is what they're saying. It's like a lot of times people have to be in the act of healing. Yours is like the passive act of healing. Like put the cast on the darn thing and let the bone heal.
Right.
Right.
Don't force it to move any faster than you want. It's just going to happen. And yeah.
And when you're waiting on a bone to heal, what do? You give yourself something else to do. So you're not just looking at the cast going, I can't wait till this heals.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why they're like, focus on this. Yeah.
Mm.
Focus on all of that stuff
Yeah.
that's right there. And then that will be the exact same time you'll be healing the bone. And then you can go back to prioritizing relationship, because that's going to start taking care of itself. Once you have that done, that will start kind of taking care of itself. Then you'll want to let that go and grow, like you've set up your garden, and then you can focus on your relationship aspect again. You know?
Yeah. No, I think this is healthy. This is a healthy way of handling this split or whatever, break or whatever you will. I think that's really important. It's about my health and moving forward.
Yeah.
All is that it's like, and I'm gonna take Kundalini every day if I can help it. I have an amazing teacher. If you ever come to LA, Tej, I just took a class this morning, but I've been saying I'm gonna go like for a month unlimited. So I'm gonna do a lot of Kundalini this month just to keep my spiritual fire moving, because it really keeps me in a high vibration. I feel it. I know it. It's like,
it's also keeping you grounded is what
yeah.
they say. So it's like it keeps you in your pelvic floor. And so they want you in that pelvic floor. So they're like, yeah, keep breathing all the way down. You breathe all that gunk out. Kundalini does. Breathe it all out. They do that fire breath.
That's, yeah, exactly.
It'll help process it. Like that's like processing the infection. Like, all right, I'm going to fire breathe this. And then you can clear it. But that's like the only active thing. They're like, they don't want you to focus on, they don't want you to get too hyper focused on like trying to fix that. It's like trying to fix a bone, like going to surgery for a clean break. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't nip yourself. Focus on this.
Right. Okay. I like it.
Is there anything else? Hold on, let me check. Nope. Vulnerability. Yep, that's all they want. They want you to focus on like the business.
Business. Okay. Yeah. I love them. Thank you.
Yeah. And lots of grounding. That's why the Kundalini is your grounding tool. That's like your grounding stone.
I've been doing vegetarian food the last couple of days. I'm juicing and I got some mung beans and I'm just going to start eating very clean diet for just this week. And then I'm going to continue being healthy. But I just feel like I need to flush myself of like everything. No alcohol, no pot. Yeah. Just stay clean and clear. Stay with it.
That's a really good idea. I mean, there are times where they told me like, you got to stop everything for a minute. And then, then it goes back to moderation. It's almost like we reset ourselves.
Yeah. No, I just had a drinking weekend with mom and my friends. So now I'm like, cool. I don't want to drink anything. I just want to drink juices and I want to stay healthy and I want to feel good and all that. So yeah, no, this is good. This is great. Thank you. Great reading.
Awesome. I'm glad that I could help in that way. And once I get back from my leave, maybe it's something that you and I need to reconnect and see where you are in your process, because I'm going to end up starting to do mine too. And maybe we can link some things, because my following's very healthy and I have a very high integrity following as well. So it might be something that we link into.
I have amazing design, which I haven't shown anywhere, of auric shield necklaces that are amazing. But I mean, other stones that are definitely will help people, whether it's protection or balance, strengthening, tapping into your intuition. But we could do like, a Nikki piece, and I could feature you on my site and you can feature my piece and we can play with that. I think that's the way to go. I like that.
It's funny because I see your stuff and I'm like, I need to ask her. I need to tell her. And I told my husband, I was like, oh, she has the jewelry that I feel really called to, even though I haven't actually physically seen it. I just saw some of your stuff and I was like, oh.
There's like a little, see, that's like, I do these little throat chakra baby necklaces. I was going to put them on the site. There's 7 or 8 different ones, all different throat chakra openers, all natural stones. And they're simple and inexpensive. And I want to start like lower and higher end. So, I mean, these ideas are already there. I just have to execute.
Yep, I hear you, and I feel the same way. And I feel that, and I knew I had to. I was like, oh, when you booked a reading, because I even was like, oh, I might have to connect with her because I felt that. I know how my guides are. So, and then when you booked a reading, I was like, oh, I'll talk to her then. Great.
Yeah, it was like a last minute. You were like, I'm booking readings till midnight tonight. And I was like, I should probably do this now where I won't get to talk to you for like 6 months. But I really love your readings and I pass them on. I email them to friends and they help a lot. So you're helping a lot of people and it's really cool to connect with you like this.
That's awesome. I'm really happy and I'm really glad that they're helping. And I'm glad to connect with you as well. And when I get back and I'm starting to develop mine, we'll have to connect and figure out how we can help each other and really be able to kind of connect that, because I do get a purity from your work.
Thank you.
And I do get that integrity from your work. And when I get called to somebody, I don't usually.
All right, you're going to be in my tree. There's going to be a in the tree.
Yay! Because I love it, and I think your work will be really great here too. Even in Colorado, there's a lot of people looking for like just really beautiful, simple pieces.
Simple.
And I love simplicity. That's my whole thing. Like I love simplicity. I think there's beauty in simplicity, and I also think you don't have to overcomplicate things.
No, there's somebody for everyone. And like I said, my people find me. They know what they want when they see it. So just got to show it out there. Thank you so much. I have to run. I know, and I could talk to you for like another 20 minutes, but I have a doctor's appointment.
No, go. Yeah, no, I just wanted to give you, because we started at 2:09, so I want to make sure I give you a full hour.
Thank you.
Well, right. Perfect. Well, great to connect with you, and I will see you soon.
Okay, and I'll rewatch. Thank you for sending that to me.
Perfect. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, rewatch it.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a beautiful birth.
Thank you.
Your beautiful baby. Your daughter is so phenomenal. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
so
now I'm gonna have 2 of them.
Oh my God. I love her so much. She makes me happy. All right. I gotta go. Bye.